Check, check. Welcome in, team. How are we doing this evening? Hope everybody's good. Yep, we'll take a look at AMD for sure. It's a popular one. All stay interesting. Weekend was good, man. Celebrated my 40th yesterday. Well, my birthday was last week, but went out last night, so a little bit of brain fog today, but nothing too crazy. Cause I'm getting old. Oh, thanks, Billy. It was a good one. Just had a few people, got some drinks and some food, and that was it. It's about all I can handle nowadays. All right, 5 o'clock, one more server ping, and we'll dive right in, guys. Smaller class. Not sure why, but maybe football, maybe people are busy. We'll see, but we'll roll with what we got. All right, y'all, welcome in. Like I said, we got a pretty small class. If you guys want to get a request in, get it in now. We only got two that I'm seeing. So, yeah, if you get a request and you won't have to wait too long. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on SPY just because it did make a new all-time high. I do want to point out I'm on the 4 hour chart right here, guys. I'll go over QQQ a little more in depth just because I feel like there's a little more to watch on QQQ, which is all tech. Again, SPY, the S&P 500. I'm on the 4-hour chart, so kind of ugly, kind of wonky, but there's this wedge here that, one, two, three, four, five, six different zones that it touched. And so when we make new all-time highs, it's kind of, we do fib extensions and we try and find other ways to say, okay, where is the possible next top? And I'm using that in air quotes because, we're kind of just guessing. And so I think the most important on SPY is, again, this top trend line here to watch this. And so somewhere up here, Monday, Tuesday, if we kind of start stalling 696, 697 zone-ish, if we kind of start stalling and kind of make a little bit of a rounding top, wouldn't be surprised because it's probably, if we zoom out, it's probably just some sort of this trend line smacking it down just a little bit. And so that's what I would watch again on SPY. I'm on the 4-hour chart right here. So I kind of would be a little bit quick with it. And then I'm going to jump to QQQ and then I will dive into your guys' request. Viral, good to have you in here, man. Glad to see you in here. Still putting the time in. QQQ. This to me is the obvious thing to watch. Big old gap down. Let's see if that holds in the morning. But let me go to the 1-hour chart and just compress this. And you can see, excuse me, back to my drawings here. All these tops in here in this red zone. And lo and behold, what did we do? Twice last week. Tops again. And so if you guys are new to charting or don't chart QQQ that much, or you play tech and you're like, hey, why is tech getting smacked down at 628? Take a screenshot or mark this upper level range here. Basically it's this 628 pocket all the way up to the 629, 629.24 all-time highs there. If I have this charted correctly, yeah, back here, double days, all-time high, just basically matched it. And then again, like I said last week, touched it twice, smacked it down again. So if we come back up here, if we start to fill this gap, tomorrow, whatever it is, this week, if we again start pushing this 628, mark that level and actually do as I say. I'm going to mark it as well because I want to get back up. I want to have an alert ready up here. So at or above, we start pushing into here. It's going to trigger for me to say, hey, start watch this level here. It's kind of that smackdown level. And so as of now, again, we're gapping down. If this holds in the morning, the game plan for me, it's working out really good. Just for what I want to go over and show you guys is this 625.55. So we see all these clusters here. It's our top. It's our top. It broke over. Top, broke over. Top again, broke over, and then it sold through. So now, what is our focus going into next week, or excuse me, this week? Let's see if I can line this up. Is that so? Any push, if we start to fill this gap, use caution up here, guys. 625.55. Not saying, it can't go more, but don't, like I say every week to you guys, don't watch this move, a $2.50 move up and go, okay, now I want calls up here after, we're watching everyone cheer and trimming on calls on the way up, all the way up here. So use caution. Use this as one of the final targets, into this gap fill. If you're in some calls, and just use some caution at 625.55, because again, if we start kind of rejecting into here, to me, it's no accident. It's just this big level here that you see. We break over. What do? We retest it instantly, and it forms support. On the way down, back up. This is resistance until it's not. And so that's the level to focus. Again, very, very nice range here on Qs. Take a screenshot if you want some free quick levels. I'll quit moving around for a second, but very, very nice levels to play into. So for me, I'm treating it 625.55 is my top tomorrow. My bottom, again, it can go more, but 622, this level right here, personally, I'm short term, I'm done being bearish on the day until we break under that for another leg down to prove that we're going to go down more. So if we sell into this zone here, I personally think we should be looking for the call bounce for sure. All right. To your request, let me take a peek at the chat real quick. All right. Viral, yeah, TEM. I think you're number 3 in line, brother. So I'll get to you as quick as I can. All right. First up, freaking Norvin. He DMs me all this stuff and then doesn't join. He's going to jump in here like 30 minutes. Watch. Skipping you, AMD. Let's hit it. Haven't traded this one in a while. Let's see how my levels are looking. May have to update some levels here. Let's start the daily. Let's just see where we're at. Where are we kind of stalling out? I'll get some more lines obviously in here. I'm just kind of visually, mentally taking a look here, kind of seeing where we're stopping, why we're stopping. So I'm gonna hold the chart right here for a second. I definitely see what I think will be a very, very nice trend line right here. Get my drawing mode. Let's see if we got 3 touches here. Why is this not working? Definitely 3 trend line touch there for sure. Watch that. And then let's get some just horizontal lines going in here, and I'll zoom in on more intraday level here. I think it was for Billy. So what I'm doing here, Billy, I'm hovering with my mouse here, and I'm looking at this candle here, and then I'm also looking left over here and seeing if it lines up. And that's just my quick and dirty charting, because when I click here, we got this candle stopping here, and it's the top side of these 1, 2, 3 candles here. So definitely a big spot there. And then we slowly look left, or excuse me, to the right, and lo and behold, we're stopping right there. And so what I would do, let me get a couple lines up here on the top side. So again, I'm grabbing the bottom side of these wicks here, and that wick right there, and to the bottom side. I'm gonna grab kind of this 199.2. And so I'm going to zoom in for you. But definitely, as of now, again, a lot can change before tomorrow morning. We're selling through that zone we just marked here. So again, we're seeing a little bit of a bottom action here. Kill candle all the way through that. Nice consolidation, sell down here. The next day, they bought it back up. What did they do? They launched off of that. What they do 2 days ago, trading days ago, that is, they bounced it, they held it. What they do on Friday, they bounced it once, twice, and held it. As of now, we're selling through that. And so that's kind of the spot to watch. So what do we have coming up here, guys? We have a big level that's broken. We got this 199.2 that I mentioned, but also round psychological numbers: 50, 80, 100, 200, 300, 1,000, whatever it is. 200 could be the spot to watch. So how I see it, maybe a fake candle down here to trap some sellers, and they pop it back over this level and we get into calls. Or if they sell through this 203, to me, doesn't mean it's going to come in an hour or in a day, but target that 200 zone. And I'm actually going to do that right now. I don't trade this name, but just to keep track of it for you guys, I'm going to get alert set right down here, that round psychological number. So if they come into this zone here, this is going to be red. Let's just pretend it's green for a bounce zone. If they come in here, don't be late with your puts. Trim your puts. We can go more, yes. But like I always say, I'm just trying to use caution with my words. People say, oh, he said buy calls. Watch this price action down here. If we come into this 200 zone, you're basically risking 80 cents against you. Why am I saying that? Kind of this little cluster here. It did sell through a little bit, but that big buyback, I'm looking for where things are getting bought back up. So we're kind of risking 80 cents to the downside, coming down to there for potential bounce zone. And so I do want to check here, see if there's any divergence going on. RSI, let's see what we got.
What up? Happy Sunday, 1K.
What's up, brother? Give me 1 second, man. Yeah, so guys, there is some very nice divergence here on the 1 hour. And so again, I don't like to use it short term, but divergence. So what is that, new traders? Price is making lower lows into support. And what is the RSI, relative strength index? I believe is what it is. What is it doing down here? Look down here, guys. It's making higher lows. This is my favorite setup, you guys. Divergences into a big support. So if this makes a low in here to tomorrow and this RSI holds, that is saying that is a weaker sell down than normal, and it is holding here, and it's primed for a reversal. So watch this here. If we leg down and RSI stays flat or holds kind of this low here, that is a very, very nice spot. We did that a couple weeks ago on KO. I don't know what that level was, 68 or something, maybe 69. Or we got lucky, not bragging, but we sniped that bottom and had that huge reversal I think like a day or two, a couple weeks ago on KO. And so this is a very, very nice setup, you guys. So far, I mean, it's only one request, but this is this is a beauty right here for AMD. Very nice request. Billy, did you have any questions on this? I know I'm kind of rambling. Feel free to unmute your mic if you want, or in the chat, or we can just move on. I'll give you a couple seconds.
The only question I have is what is the RSI?
It's I mean, it's literally called, I believe, relative strength index. It just measures. Let me see if I can Google it really quick and see what it just give you a quick definition of it. But a lot of people use it on short time frames. It gives you a lot of fake outs. Momentum oscillator used a technical analysis to measure the speed and change of price movement. Scale 1 to 100 helps identify whether an asset is overbought or oversold. So you'll see the term getting used: oversold, oversold, under 20, and overbought, overbought, over 80. I don't like to use the terms. I try and, or excuse me, 70. I try and shy away from it because, as you see right here, someone could go, "Oh, I want to get puts. It's overbought. It's overbought." Well, it did dip, but what did it do? It went up more. So we can find stuff where it makes another low, and it's like, well, it's oversold. It can keep going. It's just something to pay attention to for, again, the keyword, relative strength index. So it is measuring the move in the market, and this is saying, hey, we are selling down into a huge support, into a huge psychological number, and the relative strength index is not following a strong move down, basically, is the best way I can probably tell you that. But it's very, very powerful. I don't really use it less than a 1 hour. So 1 hour, 4 hours, weekly is really good. In 2022, we had that bear market. We would sell, we'd have these really ugly sell down weeks into these big supports. You check the weekly RSI, it's like, oh shit, big divergence into a big support. And it's like, this is just a no-brainer, guys, to, again, I could be wrong, but any sells in this 200, start scaling it to some February contracts, make it a good strike that makes sense. Don't get into like a 250 call or something like that. Make it make sense, you guys. But super, super nice setup from Billy here. So nice work, man. Nice request. All State Avenger. Yeah, you're still here. Cool. ALL. What you think on this one, man? I don't think I have any levels because I don't think we've talked about this one at all. I think probably looking for some swings on it, but a little bit of top rangey business going on. First look here. So gonna be quick charting, but I'm definitely seeing, doesn't mean it cannot go more, but we don't want to be late. We want to be buying dips and we want to be scaling out up here, or daily chart looking short. Perfect. Let's go to daily then. Nice. Yeah. So we got the same mindset as well. Like I said, I always use caution. It can go more. I don't want to just say, hey, dive into puts here, but it's one of those things where we don't want to be late on calls. Get out of there. There we go. So we can see clear as day, you guys, similar to what I was showing you guys on QQQ. We have clear and defined tops. Doesn't matter. You want it to break out this day, all these days here, all these days here, all these days. It's just not breaking out. So whether that's, weak sellers running out of gas up here, or just very, very aggressive sellers, weak buyers, or very, very aggressive sellers. So where do we not, if this was a bounce call, we want to buy, down here, but up here, we want to start scaling out. And Avenger pointed out something very nice here for sure. So intraday, I don't know what options liquidity is like here, but for sure, well, we got a candle that's holding. If we believe that, we don't know the volume on that as of now, but break and retest of 215 is the only way I want to get long in this, and with caution, because breaks and retests are still not even holding. So for me, brother, on this one, for me, I would say like we can start saying a 213, but I'd feel better under like a 212. 213, we're still seeing a little bit of bounce action here. It's very, very close if we were to zoom in, but we're getting some strong wicks here. So maybe even 212 and a half. I would just basically, I would set an alert, kind of watch the overall markets too. If the markets are weak tomorrow and this candle kind of gets negated, then definitely a good short here, because your risk, depending on how much time you have, it could be 214. So you're risking, excuse me, on some longer swings, maybe $1 against you. Or if you kind of scale in, you buy a little bit here. I know we talk a lot in DMs. Start entry here, and then 215 here is add, and then stop out on a breakout. Would negate any put position, but any sell through 212, I mean, instantly, I'd be looking down here for some nice targets. Again, just depends how much time you buy in your contracts. But if you catch a nice $2 move down, those are going to pay very, very nice. And so we'll have to check liquidity on the options this week, but definitely could be one to watch for sure. Definitely. All right, Norvin, coming back to you. I see you're in here. Oops, sorry about that.
Yes, sir.
USB, you got a trade
Banker.
last week, right?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna trade it again here. Same level.
Yeah,
Come
dude,
back to those buyers.
Yeah,
Easy.
exactly,
No brainer.
man. Come back to this 54. It's a no-brainer. So again, you guys, at least my style of charting, we got tops here, tops, tops, tops. And what do? We break over, is now a bottom. Break over, it's now a bottom. So we treat this as our bottom at 54 until it's not. Decent gap down. We'll see where that opens at tomorrow, Norvin. But for me, how I see this chart here, a 1-hour chart. Let's see if we got a little cleaner action on the 30-minute here. So one thing to watch here, Norvin, check it on your daily if you don't have think or swim. So the daily 9 moving average is at 54.8 as of now, and the daily 20 is at 54.43. So if we start selling this 54.43, brother, and we start bouncing, or if you're in puts, you may just skip out on puts, that's fine. But if we start seeing bounces in here, to me, it's no accident. It's the daily 9, and we start looking left, and it's kind of this bounce zone here. Again, it's these tops, previous tops, excuse me, are now our bottoms, bouncing. And so if we bounce this here, anyone looking at this trade, just be mindful. It may be just best to let a 54.43 slide under first before you get your puts, or just sit it out. And if you're like, hey, I like taking calls for whatever reason, only a call bounce, then just set an alert here, 54 flat, brother. But then, yeah, on the way up, you're looking at the 20 on the way up. If we catch this bounce, and then you're just looking at this gap fill, man. So whether it comes in a day or a week, we don't know. But super, super nice chart. It's ranging, but it's not too tight of a range that sucks for us. This is very, very tradable, very, very nice. But nice request in this, man. Keep hitting this trade for sure, as long as it keeps paying. Yes, I'll look at Costco when I get a second. There is one more ahead of you, I think. Let's see. Oh, wait. Let's see. Yeah. TEM is up next. Costco. Yeah, cool. All right. TEM. Tempest AI. Nice. What's you on this one, brother? Are you let me see. TM 3 push wedge reversal entry around 61. Perfect. Let's see here. Oh yeah, down here at that 61. Very nice. Cool. So you're in, I'm assuming that means you're already in here. So what I would do, let's see here, find a couple of recent tops here where it's kind of stalling. So we got this nice, right at 69 flat. We got some candles opening and closing and stopping right there at that zone there. We got some stuff over that. I'm going to zoom in 1 second here. Kind of show you what I'd be watching here, because there's a couple things I'm seeing. So not saying stalling because it did break over it, but we haven't talked about it yet. This yellow dashed line is the daily 200 moving average. As of now, it is holding. So any break and holds, if you want new entries on the 69 zone, definitely stay long over that, because now if this zone here holds, what do we have? 1, 2, 3 moving averages stacked underneath. Swing traders love that. They love that because it forms support underneath us. Any dips usually get bought when they tag that. So the daily 200, it's a 200-day moving average. It's going to move slow. That's why it's kind of flat line like this. The purple is going to move the fastest. It's our daily 9 moving average. And so a zoomed out look a little bit here. That's what we're watching here is tops are now hopefully our bottoms. They sold through on Friday. If we believe this candle here and it holds, they're buying it back up. So look for 69 is the new floor. You start pushing up here. We zoom out, we look left. For me, the next immediate price target is always the high of the week here. So the 71 zone here, we move up that and we start looking left more. And we just start finding how I trade at least. So if we sell at this 71, I start looking at the bottom sides because that is resistance on the way up. So somewhere in the 72 range, start pushing. We get up here to this zone here, and I'm looking at these bottoms here as a potential final target, up over this 73.5 zone probably. So very, very nice setup. But again, don't start calling and looking for 74 until this is reclaimed and it proves that it holds. So we might just shoot up and go right up here, or we kind of bounce around here. But if you're in somewhere down here at the 61, I think you said, very, very nice. Get that push up there. We don't know if it's going to consolidate or push up. I see a comment on DraftKings. Yeah, I definitely want to go over DraftKings. I've been trying to get this thing for a swing, you guys, on DraftKings. We'll go over in a second, but man, this thing is just back and forth every single day. But I like it for January, February for all the sports betting stuff. I think DraftKings, if we can bottom ticket, is a good entry for sure. Banks interest rate 10% cap. I don't know. I'm not smart with that. Banks are always making money, but 10% interest rate on that. Joe or River might be a better person to ask on that, Robert, or if there's people smart in here that might be able to give you some more insight on that. But banks are always making money, but interesting, 10% interest rate cap.
So I have a detail on this 1K. So all the credit card, their APR is supposed to be 10%, right? So all the banking which has the credit card exposure more in their revenue, they're gonna hit well. But the SoFi, who is only one or monopolized to have the personal loan, that is the key level for the SoFi. The banking would be deep, but SoFi may get a chance that credit loan converted to the personal loan for the people and having the less. They're already giving it 10%, but they're gonna reduce more if that is if the credit card become 10%.
Nice. See, that's why we got a community in here. There's always somebody that knows something more. I love it, man. All right. Let's see what we got here. Costco. Let's take a look. Long term. All right, cool. Ooh, nice move here. I got some lines here from somebody. Very, very nice. Oh yeah, definitely tradable. So if you're not in already, let's zoom out. Let's check this on the daily, kind of a big thick line. Oh yeah. Very, very nice. Look at this, guys. Very, very nice. I'm on the daily chart here. Let me zoom in. Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, trend line breakout, reversal. And now this cluster here, this thick line right in the middle of your screen, basically 917.8. It's an expensive stock, so we'd have to really zoom in to really get it to the penny. But I like this zone here. Look at this cluster here. When it holds, big move. Battle here, sell down. Holds, big move. Cluster, move up. Cluster, move down, down, down. Now, what are we going to do here? So, super, super nice setup here. Man, you guys got some good requests tonight. I love it. If you're not in already, at least how I trade, it's very, very simple. Kind of the same thing. The other examples we talked about tonight. Plain and simple for me, my bread and butter, breakout, retest. Breakout, retest. This is the retest. So what did it do? It retested the next day, was resistance. Remember, we looked at that in the day, the resistance. It tested it Friday, and let me clear this real quick. These are 1 hour candles. They both closed over. What did it do? Pushed over. So your focus this week, I think, if you want to get some longer term swings, if you can, be patient on a back test, this 917.8, and take calls with confidence that this is going to hold. And depending on how much time you have on the contracts, I don't want to say just, a little cut under here. It just depends. if you're truly in leaps, we can zoom out a little bit and figure out what would be a better stop, or we can talk more in DMs. But definitely, guys, this is a very nice trade. I know Empanada trades this one pretty frequently. I do not, but we also got a very nice new trend line up started. So again, any back test here, if we hit this Monday, it'd be almost too perfect, and they bounce that. Look for this trend line to hold. Again, it's never that easy, but sometimes it just works for us. It could very well just consolidate, break this trend line, but it's not breaking support. That's not a bad thing either. Yes, you got money tied up, not making any money currently, but it's not breaking support on your calls. And so there's nothing to worry on that. So yeah, 917.8, super, super nice level to get in on. If it leaves without you, you just move it up a little bit. Use last week's high as your new top. So if we kind of just do one of these things tomorrow, pre-market, we open over this, breakout retest of last week's high. Use that as support as well. And you just leg up. If we start pushing up, talked about in the last request, daily 200 is overhead. If you don't have Thinkorswim and you can't look at intraday, what you do, just any brokerage that you're on, you go the daily time frame and you're like, okay, daily 200 is at 950.28. You slap a line on your chart and you can make a note. And then, like I said, if you're on Webull or something, come on, slow computer. We start pushing up and you're like, oh, the daily 200 is up here. I should probably, trim some calls up there and not chase calls if I'm not in already, So be mindful of that for sure. Always be mindful at levels. So, but super nice request. Do you have any questions on this? I kind of went over it quick, but feel free to unmute your mic if you want to. Otherwise, I will move on. Nice request tonight, you guys, so far.
Well, for the Costco, I just got the shares, so I wanted to see where would be a good spot for the options. I was thinking getting leaps, but they're very expensive, so maybe not. But
They are, yeah. I mean, I would say leaps are worth it if you can afford, these are going to be expensive, like you said. If it's going to, if you're truly buying a leap, like something expended in 2027, if your portfolio can't handle it, like it's just not something that's worth it, even though you may really like the company or something. I mean, they're like $9,000. That's a lot.
yeah,
So it's just, you don't want that money tied up, because if you're not making money on that, it's like, oh, we're making money on AMD and DraftKings and this and that. And it's like, well, wait a minute. I got nine grand tied up in something that's just not making money, but again, it's not losing money. You don't do that. So do you have a decent entry on shares, or an average cost, if you don't mind saying, is a decent price?
It was early last week, so I think so. It
Okay,
was
nice.
right before the pump, I guess. So I got
Nice.
lucky though.
Yeah. So for your shares, whether it's, a share flip, you want to like sell them in a couple, months or weeks or whatever, just focus on that 917 we talked about here, because we can see that was just kind of that pivot, that recent pivot, that that nice bounce zone. Obviously, there's other levels, excuse me. But as we push into it, just hang out on the daily chart. I wouldn't really be watching on the 5 minute for shares, and just start looking at, where do we push and where are we kind of stalling, as we come up to these levels here and we start trickling up to here, like, oh, we're kind of stalling here. Maybe I want to take some shares off here. We start pushing up here, we start stalling. Well, right there. And so that's kind of what I would do to focus on it. But if it's a long-term hold, just write that. And as of now, this looks like a very good, let me check the weekly, pretty good share buy for you. Oh yeah.
There's a long-term range from, I don't know, like up there. So I was hoping it'll eventually get up there again. So.
Yep. Yeah, it's just, if we see a nice rotation, we don't know. There's names like PayPal is just getting its butt whooped all year long, and markets are making new all-time highs. Seen someone post about that on Trade For. It's just, we have to see. This is a strong name that should hold in the markets. If tech starts getting really weak, there could be a rotation into names like this. So I think it's a good hold that you have in your portfolio. Definitely something you should not be worried about. It's a very nice hold for you. All right, DraftKings. Leandro, I think I'm saying your name correctly. late February. Yep. So, sorry, losing my voice 1 second here. Check some options liquidity on this, but I kind of want to show you kind of where we're at in the daily here, guys. So DraftKings clear and defined topped up here at this 30, basically 37. Every day, let's see, on the daily, yeah, every day last week got smacked down again. So we don't want to be chasing when it's starting to range like this, because this is definitely, and if you guys are newer traders, this is basically our range right here. So a defined top and a clear and defined bottom. Look at all these bottoms, bottom, 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 bottom. These are bottoms. This is our range right here. And so I've been trying to time it best I can. It's been tricky. SPY is now a new all-time highs. And so like if that gets weak and triggers a sell, this could be at a good support and just runs it for us. So it's really hard to time these things that are kind of ranging. But what I do like to see, what I do like on this one is, again, we're kind of in the middle of the range here, tricky spot. So we have the daily 9 and the 20 stacked right here. So that is working for us. If we were to grab, we'll just say, I'm just going to throw an expiration, like some June swings or some May swings. Kind of what I'd do is I'd treat top zone, kind of middle zone here, then bottom. We could maybe get an entry here off this 35 and then wait for an average down here. We're basically going, hey, this is going to move 85 cents against us and take another average down here at these bottoms. It's not just a random spot to average. It is these bottoms that are being defended the entire month of December. So this is the month of December, totally defended here. And so I'm keeping an eye on it too. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it just because we have an awesome day and then the thing gets smacked down. We have an awesome day and smacked down. And so we really need to catch a bottom on these calls if we're really going to do that on this name. And so I'm watching it for sure. Again, you guys, it's the daily chart. If we were to go intraday, kind of the same story where we try and bottom tick to get some calls here. This 35 can very, very well work. I like that 35.44 better. But again, top is now a bottom, question mark, hopefully. Very, very nice spot here. Because if we bounce this, you guys, like I mentioned on that other name, daily 9 and daily 200 moving average, or not 200, sorry, 20 moving average are right underneath this. That's a very, very good momentum bounce spot for us. So DraftKings, fairly affordable, very tradable for sure. If we look at February contracts, yeah, we could get a, where did I say we're trading? We're trading at 35. If we get that 37.5, very, very nice open interest here. 167 bucks. Not bad. May contracts. 350, 400, not super good. Those half strikes, lower open interest on that. So try and get the full strike. The 40, it's $5 away. I don't love that, but it is a May contract that can pay. June, just weird, 35, 37, 40. That's kind of wonky. I don't think they did a split. That's just kind of goofy. But August, and back to 37.5. But little to no open interest in August so far. September, if you can afford it, 500 bucks. So what I would do, we can keep an eye on these February 20th calls, 37.5. So we're only, we're 50 cents out of the money. So a quick mover in the money and super, super good liquidity and open interest on this one. And only, like an $8 spread on that, the 37.5. Something to keep an eye on there for sure. Cool. Did that answer your question, Leandro? I think I'm saying your name correctly. Feel free to unmute if you would like.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Cool. Are you a day trader, swing trader? That kind of hopefully.
I am new.
What's that?
I am new to the group, and I've been following you guys for a while, but I haven't really done any trading. So I'm just trying to learn and ask questions.
Nice, man. Well, welcome in. I always tell everybody my DMs are always open. Anytime you guys have questions, send me a DM. Say, hey, I'm looking at this. Look at this chart. What do you think? And I will help you and coach you best I can. But nice requests. Yeah, we'll see if we can get something on this one. I will check ARM in 1 second. JT, good to have you, man. Let's take a look at AT&T. I think I had a recent level here. On the daily, was it? Can't remember. Oops. Interesting. This little 3-touch here. Oops, don't want that. A little bit. No, 2 touches. Trend line overhead. Where are we sitting here? 24 basically. Give me 1 second here. Nice thick line. Let's check the weekly. What are we doing at 24? Oh yeah, interesting. Yeah, look at that 24 JT. Interesting. And it's a cheaper name, so we got to really pinch pennies here to grab some tops and bottoms. But on the weekly here, where's that stopping at? 24.8 basically right here. Grabbing those wicks here. I'm on the weekly chart. I'll zoom in just 1 second, but let's check that RSI again. Oops.
It looks oversold on the weekly.
Yeah, interesting here. It's kind of doing what it should. Well, it's kind of flattening out here on the RSI. So again, it's hinting again. It can RSI can definitely fail, but it is basically flat here. Damn it! Come on, there we go. So it's basically flat. I'm not trying to make something that's not there, but since the basic beginning of November, they're kicking it down. They're selling it here on the weekly. Again, it's a slower moving name. From here to here, it's only 50-cent moves. Maybe that's why nothing is exaggerated on the name. But let's check on the daily, kind of see what's happening here under the hood. Yeah, look at that on the daily. Interesting.
Oh, AT&T is one of those stocks. I usually get them like 2 weeks out or so, sometimes a month. And I got these last week.
Nice. Did you get here kind of this 2024 zone, 2405?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's kind of the theme, and this kind of this nice hidden divergence here. So, yeah, if they can reclaim this 24, I might. I don't want to skunk this trade for you, but this is a cheap name. I might jump in on that with you if they can reclaim this level here. I'm going to keep an eye on this kind of this 20 down to this 23.8 zone. They keep bouncing it on that weekly. Let's see what's doing on the 4-hour. Yeah, and again, the RSI is showing a little bit of divergence, a little bit of strength there. So as of now, this after hours move, I got these dumb candles here screwing this. Super annoying. It's like every day on Bank of America too. I just gave up charting that for a while because I got tired of correcting these. Yeah, interesting. A little bit of sell down here in this this weekend session, but yeah, that 2386, I think. Are you in like a 24 and a half call? Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm in 24 and a half.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, they're fairly cheap too. If you guys see these February 20th, 24 calls, so right at the money, in the money basically. So if we slipped out of that, it's not going to hurt you too bad. But yeah, it's the spot you tried that you tried to buy the dip for sure, man. Like I said, if they reclaim this 24 to 24.05, I think it's game on. You're a good trader. Figure out your stop based on what expiration you have, but again, like a 4-hour chart here, if we were to scrub to the left, trying to find all those sneaky little wicks there. It's sold down. Yeah, we got a way back in time. So that's that spot there, kind of there on that daily chart. Yeah, all the way back here. Wait, May? That's too far. Oh, it is that spot. Oh, dang, big zone here. Wow. Yeah, they got to defend this, brother, because this is May of 2021 right here. And then right here, our recent, not top, but the top before the leg up was December 2024 right here. And then trying to scroll back. Yeah, so interesting. Just looking here, November. Interesting. All right. So yeah, this is December 5th, 2024 right here. This little push up, kick down, and they gapped it up over that and then pushed over that. So big spot, man. But you got the right idea. When I see our top here, potential bottom, hopefully that holds, man. But yeah, any reclaims of that, you're in business. But if that sells, brother, you might have to either definitely hedge or accept the loss on those calls, depending on what expiration you got, because that could get kind of ugly coming in this 23 and a half, 23. It could be very quick. And as of now, I think if I'm looking at this correctly, we still have an open gap down here. So
Yeah.
be mindful of that, brother. But like I said, I like it. I just don't like that after hours volume. If it's true, I don't know how much volume is sitting on this, but they could very well pop that back over. But definitely something to watch, man. Hopefully you get out on that one for sure. Some profits. Cool. Do you got any more questions on that? Sorry, I didn't ask you that.
Yeah, no, I don't have any more questions. I mean, if it goes against me, I'll just cut and look for another trade.
Yep. I tried, man. I don't know when it was. I tried to catch a bottom. I think on the zone up here, man. I don't know. Somewhere in here, man. I got spanked on it, man. I took a little bit deeper of a loss than I wanted. I just was like, oh, it's gonna hold, trying to tell myself, psych myself that it's gonna hold. It just didn't. But yeah, this thing's getting beat up, man. But this is a spot to watch. I bet River probably had the same commentary on it. So let's keep an eye this week, brother, and kind of see what we get on it for sure.
Yeah, we might be getting reactions from CES, so I think probably QQQ is gonna do a dance for us tomorrow. So.
Nice. Yeah, we'll see. Let's see what we got. I think we got some data this week coming too. So yeah, I don't know. Should be an interesting week for sure. All right. Viral, you still in here? Yes. ARM. Which one you want? You want ARM or NOW? W. That's what my uncle used to say. Feel free to unmute if you want, man. I'll let you if you want both.
I think both. Both having the multi-year, especially on service now.
Interesting here. Actually, we got time. We can check both. And then I see Charlie, I see your question on SPY. No problem. If you're here late, that's cool. We'll go over it again. Is this a newer IPO? I don't have much information to the left anymore, unless Thinkorswim's messing up. But looks to be a very nice bottom range here. Potential bottom range forming. Interesting. Yeah, if that zone, again, similar to AT&T's theme, and I think what was it, AMD as well. So very, very nice bottom here. I'm seeing, again, like I like to trade, bottoms here, formed a top here, got smacked down, pushed back up, formed a bottom, forming a bottom. Again, question mark, does that hold? Hopefully. That's the spot to watch though, but we see when it sells under this 110 and probably earnings coming up, looks like sometime in February. So we sell through this, we get this price action. We sell through, we sell down, we sell through. Gets a little bit ugly. So I think you're a swing trader if I remember. Definitely a spot to try here at this 110, and it proves all last week.
So this would be my another entry. So I added around 111, 112 and get out at 120. Now trying again if it wanna bounce.
Yep, it's definitely, I mean, you got the right mindset for sure, because when I see, again, if we just study candlesticks, you guys, what does that tell us? There's buyers kicking in all these days here. So one of those things that, yeah, we may not get the bounce, but it's one of those things, for me, I'm not buying puts down here, and neither is he. He's trying to get the bounce call. So yeah, a 120 call for next month, definitely for sure. It's holding, but again, we sell through this last couple weeks low and it's going to get ugly, and you just have to, define your risk of, are you going to hedge with some puts and maybe take on more risk on some calls, or just cut the calls and say, hey, it's just not my time. And so definitely a spot to watch. Hopefully that bounces for you. That's definitely the spot. You're correct. You want to be trying to buy that dip there for sure. NOW. And then we'll take a look at SPY for sure.
Look at weekly. It has all the way from 2022 at this level.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Ooh, look at this right here. And I know you're probably looking at this. Look at
Yeah.
that stop right there. Those stops there. Defended it weekly. Again, this is a weekly candle, guys. And a top there. Very, very nice, man. Yeah, same thing, man. I mean, people are trying to catch the bounce, hopefully, but maybe this is the magic number right here. Basically 141 flat. That's very nice. If we zoom in a little bit, what is price action like underneath that? But super nice spot to try it, and you may even get that entry tomorrow. That one kind of 141 flat.
I was thinking for the swing, it may go till 137. And if there is any reversal coming from there, market structure change, if I see higher high or something, then I want to take the as a swing for March call or end of Feb. Otherwise, maybe a bounce day trade tomorrow.
Yep, definitely. We got that wick here from May 7th of this year. So I'm on the 4-hour chart here, brother. Yeah, so we could very well, that could be a sneaky wick as well, 135.7. They could kill that through 140. And that could be that most recent low right there. That could be a bounce zone too, for sure. What level were you looking at? You said 130 what? You said
137. So
kind of 137. Okay, let's see if I can zoom out. Well, let's go a year on the 4-hour, but yeah, 137, you're probably about right on that as well. 137. Yeah, it's pretty damn close right there. So yeah, I would say if you want to nibble on this tomorrow or this week, I mean, stick to your plan, but this is the spot to try it for sure. Again, big, that's kind of the theme of tonight is big, 4-hour, daily, weekly bounce zones that stuff is kind of trickling back into. That's the spot. Again, I don't want to be bearish down here, but we don't know if calls are going to work either. So definitely a spot to try it, man.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yep, absolutely, man. Good request. All right. Go a little bit out of order. That's all right. Let me get these wrote down. TSM and Netflix. I'm not going to skip SPY on purpose. I mean, I am, but because I like to just wrap up class with that. But we got probably enough for 2 more requests. I see Josh and Ryan in here. And then Charlie will definitely do SPY for sure. And then QQQ if anybody wants it to wrap that up. But I just like to end class with those two. TSM, let's see. Are you in this one, Josh? I think you're swing trader, right? I believe.
I'm a newly born swing trader. No, I'm not in this currently. I'm in Apple, a little bit of silver left.
Nice.
That's about it.
This all-time high range up here? Yeah, looks like it. So you looking to just kind of my outlook on this and kind of where we would be buying the dip on it, or what you thinking or wanting on this?
Yeah.
Let's see. Any retracements?
I guess like a shorter term dip buy, but I'm looking to enter like longer term calls. What would be a good entry? What would be a good exit on both sides? If it goes well, if it doesn't go well.
Right, for sure. So short term, I'm seeing kind of tricky up here because we got the gap, another gap, and a fill on this gap, and not this gap. It's tricky. Let's see here. I really like this 307.44. Again, I don't know if that's going to come ever. I mean, it probably will, but I don't know if it's going to come in a week or a month. I would love for someone or you to, this top, flip it as a new bottom. If we dip it down into that, that's solid because we have all this volume presumably stacked here to prove that that's holding. Up here, though, a little bit trickier. Interesting right here, though.
That white bar, is that like futures basically?
Yeah, that's my down candle. But what I'm seeing here, man, short term, obviously, just a couple days here. So we got, some lower highs. I always have to think how I say it. Lower highs being set, a short term break here, and now back to my drawings here. Not super, super clean, but kind of a bottom here. They bought it back up, defended it, couldn't hold it, killed it down, stopped there. So this is the spot to watch right here. This
Make or break zone.
yeah. So at least how I trade. So if if calls don't present it and you're like, hey, I'll just take some puts on this, it's not super clean just because I see this buyback here. You can catch a short down here for sure, but I wouldn't be looking for something down here. You have to be just not super greedy on this. Like this. Sorry, wrong drawing here.
Responding to Umesh, yeah, it's Taiwan Semiconductor.
This would be it's about a $2 little range on there. That can definitely pay very well. So if you snipe this, anyone looking at this, if you snipe this top here on puts, again, don't get greedy, start looking for stuff down here. Like for sure, I would treat this tiny little range because it is. Because I'm seeing buybacks here, the battle there, the sell through, the stop there, and then the push up. And so if we catch our short here, definitely trim most. If you're in 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 contracts, trim most, and then leave one or two for a breakdown there. Or if your port can't handle it and you're only in 1 or 2 contracts, you enter here. Definitely sell here. Be happy with that. That's over a $2 move down, because again, we could get a little bit bouncy in here. Or if we believe this candle here, basically we're legging down on what I just said. You catch a short underneath here, 32239. That gives me a little more confidence because I'm seeing this move here, and we're instantly clearing that, and we're clearing these wicks. Really, the only thing to start looking for is kind of this cluster down here, these clusters down in here. So that'd be a little bit better. And another reason, I'm going to draw it manually, but we'd be breaking this short uptrend that was formed for 2 days. So we crack this, we're invalidating this, and so very,
If
very
we can
nice.
hold it, what do you think? Because the thing with TSM, it does not like to dip down into their longer term moving averages before continuations.
Mm-hmm.
Not at least it doesn't offer too many opportunities like that. So I like to look more on like levels on it.
Yep, for sure, man. So yeah, if this holds, definitely, I think it's not a super strong buy here, but it's a convincing one for me enough that if they kind of sell through this, pre-market early tomorrow, and they buy this back up, it's like buyers are kicking in again. They're reclaiming this kind of this afternoon level here. I think this is a good scaling zone. I would feel better breaking over the top of this to buying in, because then I would use, at least how I trade, I would buy.
That would be your stop.
Yeah, I would buy here, and this would kind of be like, depending on how much time you have, this is kind of like, okay, am I going to hedge some downside puts, or am I going to stop inside here? If you buy here, to me, you got to kind of cut quick and say, okay, it's a little bit of a structure up here, breakdown. Yeah, there's a little bit of support here, and you mentioned that buybacks come quick, but it's just kind of we got to play the chart, what's in front of us, and is this earnings coming up possibly, or that might just me. That's probably earnings coming up in a few days, and so very, very tricky. Contracts are probably juiced if that's the case, but
they're also very expensive contracts just in general, so it's hard to buy enough time.
Yeah. Well, maybe if you can, man, just if you got the port for it, just nibble a little bit here if you like this zone, and kind of what I'm saying, or let's get these earnings out of the way. I mean, you're only waiting 4 days, see what happens, see how it shakes out Friday, and then maybe we can come back to this in a week, and look at this and go, okay, they kind of said some good things on the report. They didn't move much. They're back over here, and then you can kind of buy, with some deflated IV a little bit, scaling some contracts over this level here, but. Decent setup, man, for sure. Very, very nice setup for sure.
Yeah, semiconductors of names and chip names have been ripping, but I think, in my opinion, this is one of the more quality names. So that's why I wanted to take a look at it.
Yep, and then move back and up for sure. Nice one, man. Yeah, send me a DM if we want to talk some more on this.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Oh, Netflix, we're trying to catch the dip, and it keeps dipping. We're trying to catch the dip. I'm not making fun, guys, because I talked about this a couple weeks back, and even this level, and now we're dipping more. So let's see where the hell we are at here. let's mark out a spot. Where did it stop on Friday? Kind of 89-ish, whatever. So let's slap a line here. And we're going to zoom out to the daily. Are you, let's see, are you in this one, Ryan, or just looking to see when the bleeding is going to stop? Oh, shit, they got earnings coming up too, guys, on the 20th. So 9 days. Well, I know we said, hey, buy the dip here, sharks in here. And then we probably said buy the dip here. And we probably said buy the dip here. You're in a 92 call. February 20th. All right, so I don't hate that. I think it's sharks re-entry. Again, this thick line here, it's just tricky, guys. I just, like I always say, don't buy puts here. It could go more. Try calls, and we tried this 1, 2, 3 times. Third time's a charm. This is the daily chart here. So we're seeing, again, we're seeing buybacks. We're trying this again here. We're seeing candle selling down and stopping here. We're seeing engulfing candles through here. This is a good spot to try it. I know people are kind of getting whacked on this one, but
In 1K, isn't it risky to enter right now? After earning, we can see potential 85 or 82 or about 90, and then we take the trade.
say that again. So wait for something to say it again. Sorry.
Yeah, so the earning is in 9 days, right?
Yes.
It can go deep to 85. That would be a better reversal area, right?
I think so, just for kind of like a lower extreme. I don't want to, I'm hesitant on just saying oversold stuff or sold down too much, but you have a very good point, because we're seeing very, very strong reversals here stepping in. It's tricky just because, like I said, we looked at this a couple weeks ago. We drew the screens on. I remember this, and we're like, oh, shark took an entry here. It's a no-brainer. Tried it, and then we get this kill candle here, and then just totally getting beat up again another week. And so it's tricky. I'm glad you guys are some February stuff, not just weeklies, or hopefully not swinging weeklies. It's just tricky. Like you said, earnings are in 9 days, and so if you're
And the
not,
reason is if this does not work within the 9 days, the IV would be so high before the earning, and it will crush the particular stock if it does not go in your way.
yep,
Right.
yep, he's very good point. So what he's saying is, the IV is going to increase through earnings, and then you guys IV deflate or IV crush. What you hear that is, whatever earnings or IV is. There we go. So like January 23rd. Is that right on Netflix? Yeah. So IV is like a 62. It's going to keep going up and up and up, leading up until earnings, and then it's going to deflate and kind of just crash. And so if the move goes against you and you get an IV crush as well, that's kind of like a double whammy. And this is going to be one of those things that choose wisely. Ryan and some other people that are in this, if you choose to hold until the 20th, you might be really happy, or you might wake up and literally the contract is worth 0.01 and you can't even sell it. So it's tough. I know Shark is trying to get you guys out of this trade with some profits. It's, as of now, it's just not working. He's a very, very good trader. Things sometimes just don't work, you guys, but it's just, for me, this 88.78, not a super clean level. Let me shrink it down just a little bit, kind of see what's doing under the hood there. But we're seeing a lot of action around that, but that breaks, we see the move down there underneath that. Just kind of tricky. Does that kind of help you, Ryan? Let's see, entered Friday. Oh, everyone's down 20%. You're green, so that's cool. Can't hate on that. Intraday here. Yeah, definitely a buyable dip. It's defended. These are 1 hour candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defended, and then you got the move in a day. So we kind of trickle into here, a double bottom on the daily, 1, 2 double bottom. Definitely a spot to do it. I might take the shot this time. I'm gonna send alert here, but yeah, if you're already green, Ryan, on the way up, what do? We look left. These bottoms here are going to cause you some issues. So let's just say we kind of hold this level here. You push up, you're already green. making money, excuse me. So blast through Friday's high. That's step one. Step two, start looking in here, this 89.6 zone. All these bottom, these wicks here. If I were to draw a line, target 2, target 3, in a perfect world, and push up, what do we have? Now you have all this consolidation here. So on the way up, orders that are sitting here, maybe they didn't get filled, they might be waiting. You have to chew through all this volume up here. So tricky spot for sure. Cool. All right, let me do SPY because I'm making Charlie and some other people wait, and I'll jump on KR for you at the end, brother, and then we're done. It's 6 o'clock my time. You guys can bail out if you want. Charlie, yep, thanks for sticking around. What was your comment on this? Yep, SPY downside level. So talked about it briefly here. I'll go over it again. We were kind of looking at this upper trend line here, Charlie and other people. We sold through it, and it looks like a pretty convincing downside move for sure. So what do? We play the range that we're back into. So what was a recent top here on Friday? This was a top before the breakout. I lined up with this. And so for me, these are, that's going to be kind of a salmon color. No, it's a little bit red. So on the top side, if you're bearish, you want to see these first two levels reject. You want to see this reject if we push, you want to see right here, if we push up into it, you want to see that reject if you want to remain bearish. On the downside, if you're looking for call bounces, well, where are we stopping? Does it make sense? We're kind of seeing buybacks. And again, it's the top here. It is now our bottom here, or as of now. So it's stopping there. We sell through that. You want to reshort any bounces, or if you do, you take them here. We leg down. Do we not bounce here? No. We sell through. Take your bounce rejection there. Sell through. But very, very nice range of what I'm getting at here. This is the 1 hour chart here.
Can you see volume on this current pullback right now?
It's not interesting. It's showing
Okay.
here. Interesting.
Feels like an opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, this right here, I would not be chasing puts right here, guys. So this green line, you see our top. Hopefully, if you're a buyer or a bull, look for that basically 691 for that to bounce. Again, sorry if you guys want to take a screenshot or mark some levels, I'll quit moving it. But very, very nice range, you guys. I hate when stuff makes new all-time highs because I don't have anything to work off of when it comes back down into these levels here. We're just playing these levels, these swing highs and lows. That's, to me, I think is the easiest way to learn charting. The easiest way to start trading is just find the extremes. Where did stuff push and stop out? Okay, well, on Wednesday it pushed, it made a new all-time high and stopped there. We retraced. What did it do? The first candle that hit there, it stopped there, it consolidated, it pushed back up. So find your swing highs and your swing lows. Kind of consolidating here, it was our top. It was our bottom, is our bottom, is our bottom, is our bottom. So find swing highs and swing lows in the market, you guys. I think it's the easiest way to trade as long as something is not a new all-time high. Just go the 1 hour, the 30-minute chart. If you guys want to practice on stuff, say, hey, this is my chart. This is kind of what you said to do. Does it look good, or what would you do different? And I'll help you chart best I can. But definitely nice little range here for sure. All right, Kroger, I think it is, and then we're going to wrap this class, guys. Sorry, I wish I could go 2 hours. I would love to, but I got to eat some food and watch some football. Daily. Ooh, broke that. Where are we stopping? A little indecision candles, but meaning no one is winning. Buyers are winning the bottom. Bears are winning the tops here. What's going on? Oh yeah, look at that. You see that, Avenger? Very, very nice here. So again, once we get lines going, I never delete my lines because little bit of range here, and then broke out, come back down, and now what are we doing present day? Back in the range, our top and bottom, our top at 60 basically, our bottom at 58.74. Very, very nice, man. Interesting. Yeah, buy your dips at 58 down here. As of now, our top is 60 up into this kind of 60 and a half. But again, you know, this is a bottom, this is a top until it's not. If they start, excuse me, breaking over this, which kind of lines up with this right here, to me, just leg it up. That's your new bottom, excuse me. You know, it was a top, it's a new bottom. Again, find your extremes in the market, guys. This is our bottom for sure. If we fail the 60 again, or you want to take your short here at 60, you could use something like, you always see me draw my red zone, something like that as a stop out. If you're on a bearish position, take it down here, take a target, take your target, take your target. Come down into here, grab your calls. Break weekly lows, which is this wick here from Thursday, stop out of your calls. So again, this would be your risk, and your reward is all this if you're buying down here on these calls. So very nice range. Got the daily 9, not too far overhead, but weekly chart. Yeah, big spot there, man. 58.74. Let me know if you get in a swing on this. I might take it with you, man. Weekly chart, yeah. So it's bouncing. It defended where I think it should, where I would expect it to. These weekly candles here, kind of that battle here, bouncing here. So let's see, 58.74. I know we can kind of pinch pennies underneath, but if that holds, very, very nice spot there. All right, y'all. Thank you all for sticking around. I'm going to end the chat here. DMs are always open. Like I said, send me a chart. Say, hey, I'm looking at this. This is the contract I'm looking at. What do you think? What can I do different? What can I do better? And I will help you guys the best I can. Let's have a great week this week. Pay attention to the news tab. I think we have some data this week. I'm not for sure. Keep an eye on Twitter. And have a great week, you guys. And with that, right there, I'm gonna get that last little trend line. But with that, guys, I'm in the chat. Have a good night. I'll see y'all tomorrow.